retraining. Hey, are you listening to me?
Just a second, I'm gonna win this turn.
What are you playing now?
The Pokemon trading card game. For the Game Boy Color.
Pokemon trading card game? Isn't that for kids?
Well, yeah, but I used to play this card game a lot when I was a kid, so there's some nostalgia to it for me.
Even so, wouldn't it be more fun to play with a friend?
I used to. I actually went to a card game store when I was a kid and played against other people, and even earned badges. But, just like any other kid, I kept wanting to buy packs of cards and wasted away a lot of money on them. The handheld game was just pretty much cheaper to afford. Plus, you were capable of playing against other real-life players, if you had a link cable and they had the game as well.
I see, but why was it so special to you? It's just a card game.
Well, Pokemon was very popular back then, and even today. The original Red and Blue games were what started it all, and there was just something about a kid being able to achieve his dream by journeying through life and facing obstacles to reach his goal. The card game itself was sort of like baseball cards back in the day. Everybody was collecting them. I myself liked the show and I thought the illustrations on the cards were pretty cool. That was my real reason for starting collecting them in the first place. Later on, I learned to play the game and I found it to be quite fun. When I found out that the GBA game existed, I really wanted it. It was a mix of both the card game and the original games. You play a character that travels from gym to gym, battling other people to a card game instead of Pokemon battles.
Don't most video games that rely on card battling tend to tick gamers off?
True, but there's a difference. Unlike some games where card battles are a gimmick, this game is solely based on the card game itself. And unlike the first couple of Yu-Gi-Oh card games that came out, the Pokemon trading card game was true to its source material. It plays just like the actual card game.
What if you don't know how to play the card game at all?
Not to worry at all. The game was created for the fans of the card game and the show, but there's an extremely easy to follow tutorial at the start of the game. After the tutorial, you pick a deck, kind of like how you would start in any other Pokemon game by picking your first Pokemon. After choosing a deck, you'll go to your first gym of your choice and meet your rival.
So it's similar to the other games.
Very similar. Although, instead of winning money after every battle, you get packs of Pokemon cards. This will be the equivalent to collecting Pokemon. There are 5 different packs with a unique set for each pack. The cards in the game are based off the first 3 series of cards that originally came out. The Basic Set, the Fossil Set, and the Jungle Set. There are also special cards created solely just for this game that don't really exist. Every pack is random, so you have to keep on challenging people if you want to collect every card in the game. The illustrations for the cards in the game represent the real cards very nicely with its limited colors. The sprites in the game are also pretty nice and simple. Every character tends to stand out, and some of them look pretty unique. Like this guy.
Cross? What is that?
That's Imakuni. We'll get to him in a second. First, I want to go over the cards in this game. There are 3 types of cards for you to collect. There are the energy cards, the trainer cards, and of course the Pokemon themselves. You use the Pokemon to battle with, the energy cards to power them up, and finally the trainer cards. There are a ton of different trainer cards for you to use to help create different strategies for your decks. Although I stuck with the ones I use most often in every deck I've ever created. The potion cards cure your Pokemon, energy removal cards weaken your opponent's Pokemon, and the Bill and Professor Oak cards draw cards faster. You're able to create 4 different decks, and you can save the information of those decks on the deck saving machine in the Professor's lab. So when you dismantle them, you can recreate them again with a push of a button.
So much talk about the cards. What about the characters in the game? What about that freaky Imakuni guy?
Oh, right. Well, even though I mentioned that the sprites stand out, every character in the game is pretty one-dimensional. Which isn't too much of a problem since the story itself is pretty weak. Even if the stories in the other Pokemon games seem generic, there's almost no story here at all. You'll play a character without a name that plays card games with other characters. The game doesn't rely on the story as much as it does on the player's love for the card games.
So, what you're saying is that if someone who doesn't find the card game interesting won't find this game fun at all?
Yeah, probably. That's where the game seriously lacks in entertainment. You have your nameless protagonist, the professor, the gym leaders, and the elite card players, and of course your rival, the antagonist. The only story here is that your rival wants to prove he's better than you and he's the final challenger in the game. You beat him and you earn the supposedly 4 strongest cards in the game based off the legendary Pokemon. Unlike Rhapsody, where I thought the characters are what drove the plot, this game is all about the gameplay. If you enjoy the real card game, you may enjoy this game.
What about the Imakuni guy?
He's just some guy who dresses like that at conventions.
A real person?
Yep.
I wouldn't want to meet this guy. He gives me the creeps.
What's funny is he has his very own card in the game, which is the most useless card since it attacks to control his own Pokemon when using it. This card was only made for the game, so it doesn't really exist. You know what? I think Nintendo should make another Pokemon card game for the DS. A brand new game with better graphics and a possible use for the stylus. A chance for a better story and maybe even add an even organization group like Team Rocket. What would be more fun than having a bumbling trio of goons like James, Meowth, and Jessie chasing you around and challenging you for your rarest card?
Are they cross-dressing?
Yep.
What kind of a kid's show is this?
Not the kind you would expect. Anyway, I think a sequel or even just a remake of the game would be fun to see. it could possibly bring life back to the card game if people are interested enough. The original game itself was still pretty fun and true to its license. The replay value may not be too high, but it's one of those games where you could just pick it up and play a card game or two when you feel like it. You can even continue playing the game after you beat the story, and use the legendary cards in battle. An updated version could easily improve on everything. I thought I took care of you guys last time.
We will not be defeated like last time. We brought reinforcements. Yeah, reinforcements.
What the? I can't hurt it.
You'll need to use special abilities against this creature. Physical damage won't do. That's why I needed to train you.
So how do I use special abilities?
Here's a quick lesson. You're an artist. Draw an attack on your Wacom tablet and fire it at the creature.
Okay. Pulsating lightning ball.
Good work. Now it's my turn.
Mama! We'll be back, and in greater numbers.
Well, that's the end of that, and we'll never see them again.
But they just said...
And now for another game.
I see you two have failed me again.
We're sorry, you're...
Shut up! I'll give you two one more chance. After all, you're the only minions I can afford.
Yes, sir. We won't fail you again.
Soon my reign of genetic terror shall begin.
There was a sequel in Japan? Oh. Team Rocket, make me feel better.
いいの。私の美しさには男も女もないの。
小砂利はお邪魔り、あっちへお行き。
さてと、サービスサービス。あ、そう。